Flosstube, it's Critter Stitcher here, and I'm here today with another long-awaited update video. Yes, I know it's been about 2 months since I posted a last video. That's just because the end of the summer and beginning of the fall just have been super busy for me. So anyways, I am back, and I'm here with another update video. So, let's get started. So, what have I been up to lately? Well, we're gonna go all the way back to like the beginning of August. So, actually, the last day of July is where I'm gonna pick up from. So, on the last day of July, my mom and I celebrated our birthdays, which were later that week in August, by going to the Pink concert at Fenway Park in Boston. And we had such a really fun time. Pink put on a fantastic concert. It was so entertaining. We were singing and dancing the entire time. And she also had a bunch of really fun effects of like these just really fun costumes that would light up and just stage effects that would also light up. She would also do some really fun aerobatic stuff. Or like one point she was in a hoop, in like a hoop and like dancing in the hoop. And then she had herself like at the end of the concert, she was like hooked up to this thing and then she like flew across the stadium. It was just a really fun concert to watch, and my mom and I had a fantastic time. However, from that concert, I picked up a cold because I, later that week, came down with a really high fever. And unfortunately, that fever peaked on the 3rd of August, which is my mom's birthday. So unfortunately, I was unable to go with my mom and celebrate her birthday, which we were both pretty disappointed about, but it was important that I rest and heal. And then 2 days later was my birthday. And at that point, I was feeling so much better. And the fever had broke the night before. Or was it 2 nights? Anyways, the fever had broke the night before. So it was my birthday, August 5th. But it was also extra exciting too because it was Brew at the zoo that I work at. So Brew at the Zoo is our big fundraiser for the year, where we have a bunch of local brewing companies come and they serve it's unlimited samples of beer. And then there's also a homebrew competition. The brew that won was this so I'm not a big fan of beer, but I just go because it's kind of fun, and it's really fun to watch people enjoy all the animals, and they're having a good time drinking beer with their friends. And then we also do, for that, have the first hour is the VIP hour. So during the VIP hour we have animal encounters. So a lot of the zoo staff, the animal care staff, and the education team will do encounters with the animals. So I did an encounter. I had Perry, the self-requested cockatoo. I'll insert a picture here of Perry and I. Yeah, he's very cute and very handsome. He's one of my favorite critters at the zoo. Anyway, so yeah, that. And then there's also the homebrew competition, where local homebrewers, and then there's a competition where the guests then vote for their favorite. And the one that won was a like pink lemonade inspired sour, which was actually really good, and I liked it. So, it was a good beer if Jess liked it. Yeah, so that was that. And then after that, I had And then after that, we went to my in-laws' house. My parents and my brother met up at my in-laws' house, and they live on a lake, and we had a nice little bonfire. So that was very nice too, because I always love sitting by the water and having a little fire in the fire pit. And then after that, on the 19th, which is the day before our first anniversary, Dan and I went on a whale watch with his sister and her fiance, and we had a whale of a time. And yeah, we saw some really fun whale action. We saw a mom with her baby. We saw whales breaching in the background, which is when whales like swim up and then flop down on their backs. So that was really cool to see because I had never seen that in person. So we saw that from a distance. They weren't like right next to us when that happened, but that was alright. So that was pretty much the big excitement in August. After our anniversary, that's kind of how we celebrate our anniversary. So after that, there really wasn't much going on. We just, the usual work and stuff. And then in the big September, mostly big things that were happening in September is I've attended a bunch of fairs. So we attended the Spencer Fair and also the Woodstock Fair in Connecticut. And both were very fun. We ate lots of food, which is something I love to do. I love going to fairs and just the environment of a fair and just enjoying all the festivities. And just, I don't know, there's just something about fairs that I just love the vibe and seeing all of the exhibits and all the animals. Oh, it's just a good time. It's nothing like a fair in New England. So yeah, so that's really that. I know sometime this week, my mom and I are going to go to the Big E, which is like the giant New England fair. So it's the fair that kind of encompasses all of New England. It's located at the Eastern States Exposition in Springfield, Massachusetts, which is actually it's like 10 minutes from the zoo. So it's really nice that it's kind of close by. Yeah. And so yeah, what's really special about the Big E is that as I said, it encompasses all of New England. So there's 6 state buildings, one for each state of New England. So there's the Massachusetts building, there's the Vermont building, the Maine building, the New Hampshire building, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. And in each of those buildings and around them, there will be highlights and vendors and food and people just from those states. And they just kind of show off the best of what they have. And there's always food too, so it's always fun too as well. Yeah, so my mom and I will be going there later this week. And then at the end of, and then Friday actually, after work, I will be driving up to New Hampshire, up to, what's the name of the campground? Russell Pond Campground in New Hampshire in the White Mountains. I'll be staying over, and then the next day we'll be hiking the, what's it called? It's a really fun, like, beautiful waterfall. I'll put the name down here. Anyways, it's like a short hike, and it's just a very scenic route. So I'm very much looking forward to that, as I do enjoy camping, and I will be doing that with my hiking group. So yeah, so that's kind of what Life Update is. Yeah, so about 7 minutes in, let's get to stitching. So, we're encompassing over 2 months of stitching whips. Are you guys ready? Because here we go. Alright, so, first whip I worked on was my, So, on my birthday, I had a new whip started, and that is, I always do a new start on my birthday, and this year was no different. And this year's whip was Dream Big from Romy's Creations. So, this is where I'm at on it. I started by and then the needle minder is by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And the fabric is, it's a printed fabric. I have the tag in here somewhere. Where are you? I think it's like Dream or something. Oh, come on. Oh, wait, I need to put this in here. It is Rogue Wholesale, of course. Anyways, it is a special printed, and then I started by outlining the unicorn, and also the tail I have incorporated coordinating Krennic. So there's a little bit of sparkle in that tail, because no unicorn is complete without some sparkles. So that is Dream Big from Romy's Creations. And that was started on the 5th of August, my birthday. And this is just stored in your good old Ziploc plastic bag. And the fabric is here. It's from Rogue's Fabrics. Sorry, crinkles. It is sunflower printed fabric and the colorway Flurry on Belfast linen in 32 count. In case you were wondering. Alright. And then after that, I worked on that for actually quite a while. Let's see, refer to my handy dandy stitching journal. So I worked on that for quite a bit of August actually, because I wanted to make some good progress in it. Yes, yes. And yeah, so I worked on that. And then starting on the 17th, to celebrate my wedding anniversary and to kind of commemorate our honeymoon, I started multiple different projects on our honeymoon, kind of commemorating our honeymoon and the different phases of it. Because we did two things where we went from, oh, speaking of our honeymoon, let's start first with the wedding. And remember how I was stitching on that special project, Birds to the Bows, for our wedding anniversary, to have it done before our first wedding anniversary? Well, guys, I did it. I completed Birds to the Bows from Lindy Stitches, and this gorgeous piece of stitching was completed on August 17th, 2020. Oh, that must be okay. Sorry, just discovered something that went missing. Anyways, this is my completed sampler of Birds to the Bows to commemorate Dan and I's wedding, marriage. So, here we are. This is it in all its full glory. Sorry, I know it's a little scatterbrained, but that's just how I think. And hope you're along for this crazy ride that is my ViewTubes and my brain. But yeah, so here it is in all her glory. Isn't she just so pretty? I just love all the colors of this. And yeah, so that is Birds to the Bows by Lindy Stitches. I do not know what fabric this is. It's probably a 32. It's a purple linen. No idea what the color name is or the company of it. But yeah, so I was very happy and proud to get that. And now we can go back to the stitching that I started last year as well to commemorate the different phases of our honeymoon, because we flew into San Diego to go to the San Diego Zoo. We spent a day there, which was a ton of fun. That's a huge zoo, and it actually had been a big dream of mine to go. And then the next day, we went to SeaWorld in San Diego as well. And while we were at SeaWorld, we did a walrus encounter. So to commemorate the walrus encounter, and we got to meet a walrus. It was really cool. Very cool experience. They're so much bigger than you think. And anyway, so to commemorate that, I started W is for Walrus from Modern Millie. Not so Modern Millie. So I'm only going to be stitching just the walrus part and the little ice that he's standing on. So this is what I have stitched. Yeah, and he's so cute. And I'll also insert a picture here of the walrus we met. Okay. Girl. Very nice. W is for walrus. I customized the colors because I wanted to use hand-dyeds instead of the called for DMC. So these are hand-dyeds picked by me. And yeah, so that's W for walrus. And the next project that I worked on to kind of commemorate the wedding and stuff and things is Treasure Trove Trio. So Treasure Trove Trio was more to, hold on, let me put away walrus. Okay, so Treasure Trove Trio is from the Frosted Pumpkin. So this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. And I started this to commemorate my bachelorette party, which was held on Cape Cod. We stayed in Hyannis at a nice resort, at a small resort, and my friends and I, bridesmaids and I, we all kind of bopped around Hyannis in that area of the Cape. So a big part of that was going to the beach, because that's what you do at the Cape. So we went to the beach, and this is Treasure Trove Trio, and I wore my mermaid tail. So I stitched the mermaid on this piece to look like my tail. So I'll insert a picture of me in my mermaid tail at the beach here. I just love wearing my mermaid tail. I just think I feel like a mermaid, and I love mermaids. And yeah, and also another fun thing while we were there is we went to the Waiata Pirate Museum. So the Waiata was an old pirate ship that sailed the Cape Cod in I think like the 1800s during the big times of piracy. And a scuba diver or a explorer from Cape Cod discovered the shipwreck. So over the past couple years, this diver and this expedition team, research, maybe archaeologist team, I don't know, whatever the term is. Anyways, they have been going down to trips to go find and bring back stuff from the actual wreckage. So it was really cool to see like what an actual pirate ship looked like and what actual stuff was on the pirate ship. So I highly recommend if you're on the Cape to go visit the Waiata Pirate Museum. It is fascinating for both children and adults alike, as well as children at heart, like myself. And yeah, so that was Treasure Trove Trio. And then next, I worked on Hawaiian Mermaid. So, Hawaiian Mermaid commemorated the second part of our honeymoon, which was flying out to Maui, Hawaii. And then we stayed at the Hyatt Regency Resort, right on the Kanakapali Beach. And yes, if Maui sounds familiar, so this is Hawaiian Mermaid. This is what she's gonna look like when she's done. And this is the progress I've made on her. This is from Autumn Stitchery. She's on a very sparkly piece of fabric. Yeah, and so, started this while sitting on the beaches of Maui, and we had a gorgeous view. I will insert a picture of the stitching piece and the view that I had here. And yeah, so many of you may know that Maui has recently suffered from terrible wildfire that burns down the town of Lahaina, which also happens to be the town that the resort that Dan and I were staying at is located. So, yep. So the resort actually let in so many victims of the fires and housed them while they figured out what they're doing. So I know it's been that was probably the beginning of August. That was in August when that happened. But they still could always use help. And if you're feeling generous and you do want to help, there is a couple places to donate some money. First there is the I think it's the United Way. Their website is, I'll post the link down below in the description box. And there's also the Maui Humane Society to help out our animal friends. You all know I'm very passionate about animals. And I'll also post a link in the description as well. Oh yeah, it's Maui United Way. And yeah, so that is kind of like my August stitching wrap up, because I worked on Hawaiian Mermaid until the end of the month. And then started September. Oh, and Hawaiian Mermaid is stored in this beautiful bag of art from a Maui artist that I found while in Hawaii. Her name is, I have the tag in here. Oh, here it is. Her name is Trudy Galleria Studio. Yeah, that's her tag. Yeah, and she's a local writer, artist, and educator born and raised in Hawaii. Yeah. Her website is trudyhawaii.com. It's always good to support local, even if you're not there. Yeah. So that kind of wraps up my August stitching. So we'll jump right into my September stitching. So with September started my new SAL, my new 24/7 SAL, which is this is Buttercup Designs Broody Puppy Christmas Stocking. So this is a dog stocking, and I'm actually stitching this for my dog Brownie, who could be seen right here. This is Brownie. He is at his post, watching out the window. He's waiting for my husband to come back from playing Magic the Gathering with his brothers. Anyways, so I'm stitching this stocking for Brownie. So I've been working on this a little bit every day with the goal to finish it about by Christmas so he can use it for Christmas. Not that Brownie's really good at, Anyways, so this is the progress I've made. So the big part of the tree. So I am also on, so this is like the bottom page, and I'm starting to work on the top part of the tree. So that's going to go pretty quick. And I think I do have a really good, and I do think I am going to finish this in time for Christmas. As really, once the tree is done, there's really not that much to go. As if you look at the pattern, it's just outlines of the dogs and the presents and the little measles. So I honestly don't think it's gonna take as long as I think it is, but those are always the famous words. But yeah, so that's Britter Puppy Stocking, also known as Brownie's Stocking, because that's my dog's name. And then this is stored in a Be Busy bags. So it has a really nice scene in the front. And then on the back, some cardinals. So that's that. And also another thing, and I always try to do 2 focus projects for the month. So the first one that I was focused on is, hold on, let me finish getting this in. So the first focus project that I was working on for the month of September is, what is this? Is, Little Red Riding Hood Parade from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And my goal was to finish the first part of it, which I achieved last night, actually. Last night I put in the last few stitches. So this is part 1. This is Little Red Riding Hood arriving at Grandma's cottage. So the next part that I'll work on is over here, and that is Grandma's, the wolf laying in Grandma's bed. So this was a stitch-along released by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery probably I think last year or the year before. And obviously I did not keep up with it. And that's okay. I usually kind of don't really keep up very well with the Frosted Pumpkin cells, and that's perfectly fine. I eventually plan to work on them and get them done. But yeah, so that's Little Red Riding Hood Parade from the Frosted Pumpkin. And that is stored in this bag that I got in a box from the Black Needle Society, and this is artwork by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And then on the 13th and the 14th, for kind of preparation for October, I started Boo from Lizzie Kate, which is part of the Celebrate with Charm series. And that's stored in this really fun binder from, I believe it's Trish Vaughn Designs. Yeah, yes. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Yep, Celebrate with Charm. And so to get this started and prep for October next month, I just want to get it started just so it's started and it won't take me as long to get going. You know how starting goes. Anyways, so this is my big start. I got the owls and the trees done, and the tree. And this is, the needle minder is from the Frosted Pumpkin. So yeah, so that's my big start. And then, October I'll work on this more. Yeah, so that's Celebrate with Charm from Lizzie Kate. And I have one more whip that I have been working on. And that is, now that I have finished the part 1 of Little Red Riding Hood, I'm going to be switching to my other focus piece, which is, what is this called? Be Busy at Stitching from the Primitive Hare. So this was the limited edition kit from 2020. What really appeals to me is I really like the pretty outline here and just the use of the gold and the bees. It's just very cute in general. And yeah, and this is my progress so far. Yeah, this was a small start from last year that I'm kind of working on. So yeah, this is that. And so this will be the project that I'll work on until the end of September. And then at the end of September, I'll switch to my October starts, which I believe, so those are my whips that I've been working on. Let's move on to haul. So speaking of that, I did get some extra birthday money, so August's haul was a little bit more than usual. So for my birthday, I treated myself to a couple new fun things, such as I had been eyeing these for a while, and these are Zebra Sarsa marble color pens. I do a lot of journaling in my planner, and so these are really fun, is how every time you write, the colors change. So it's really fun to write with these. Yeah, and these had been on my wish list for a while, and on my birthday I got some birthday money, so I was able to get these. And then another fun thing that I also got for my birthday that I have been eyeing for a long time is these Woobles crochet kits. So they teach you how to crochet. They're really cool with the videos. I have been working on this little purple penguin. I can show you my progress on him. Let's see. So it's kind of fun to crochet. I picked it up pretty quickly. A lot quicker than I thought, actually. Yeah, so this is kind of where I am with the penguin. And what I like about these kits is this yarn is really easy to work with, as it's kind of like shoelace almost. Kind of like reminds me of a shoelace, but not quite. So yeah, so this is where I'm at with the penguin. And I kind of like it right now because like the yarn sits right in there. And then it comes with this nice little crochet hook. And it includes step-by-step videos. And it like shows you exactly how to do all the stitches really slowly. So it's actually really fun. And I should get back to these. But you all know that my first love is stitching, so I stick with that. Alright. And then I also bought 2 other Woobles kits that I had been eyeing. This is Billy the Unicorn and Disco Fred the Dino. So when I finish the penguin, then I'll start working on one of these. I don't know which one. Probably the dinosaur, because he's just so pretty and cute. But yeah, so those are the Woobles kits that I bought. And hold on, there's more. And then I also bought some really cute patterns. The Blue Flower, she comes out with gorgeous patterns, and they kind of like just hit home for me. So first one that I bought is Forest Home. As it says in our roots are in the depths of the woods. And that just spoke to me because I really do enjoy getting into nature. Yeah, and it is just so pretty, especially with, I just really like all the little animals. And then she also had a new release for kind of Halloween and fall. That is Spooky Autumn Smalls. This one right here really spoke to me. It's a little raccoon peeking out of the pumpkins. And many of you might not know, but my other favorite animal at the zoo, 2 of my other favorites, are Thor and Loki, which are a pair of rehomed raccoons. And yeah, so that just kind of reminded me of them because I could definitely see them peeking out of a pumpkin, as they are 2 very mischievous boys. And then I also really liked this moth too. I thought that was super pretty. I just love all the colors of it, the shading, and it just works really well. So yeah, so I bought these. And then, so that's kind of like the birthday haul that I bought. And then I also purchased this bag from, this is the Prefect Bathroom Project Bag from the Year 4 box from the Black Needle Society, of the Year 4 Frogwarts box. In Harry Potter, there's, in the 4th book, the Goblet of Fire. The competition, the Triwizard competition comes to Hogwarts, and 2 other schools come. And the 3rd one of the challenges is they get an egg, and they have to figure out the egg tells him a clue. And eventually Harry kind of learns that he has to put the egg underwater. And I guess there's a really big pool, a bathtub, in the prefect bathroom. So he goes in there, and then this is the mermaid, which is what the siren egg is. And once it sings, and he tells him about mermaids. Yeah. So I just thought this was really cool, because once again, mermaids. And then also part of that box is I also bought this pen, which is a maze pen, which is the third challenge. Yes, the third challenge in the Triwizard tournament was to go through a maze and a port key. And yeah, so that's that. So that is, oh, I have one more piece of haul. So I do collect the Just Nan critters. This is Just Nan, Owlrear's Frightful House. So it's wicked cute because it's a little owl. You stitch the little owl. Oops, sorry about the glare. And then you stitch your house. And yeah, and that's just super cute. And you stitch the little house. And then you stitch her little area where she hangs out. Yeah, these are always really fun to stitch on. Plus, Just Nan always includes a lot of fun embellishments and stuff. So they're super sparkly. And lots of fun to stitch on. And yes, so we're going to move on to plans. So plans are mostly to continue to stitch on Ritter Puppy, Brownie's stocking, as well as continue to get as much progress on BZ at stitching as well. So that's all I have for everybody. I do hope, and I know I say this every video, but I really hope to try to stay as close to a 2-week schedule as possible. And yeah, so I'm really gonna actually try to super make that effort. I should probably stop promising empty promises. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and happy stitching, everybody. Bye!